The Bro-Bazolovitz pioneers. Yeah, that's all I got. I was gonna attempt to Google Translate an entire sentence, but I know that's not gonna turn out right, and I don't wanna rely on Google Translate, cause I'm gonna embarrass myself more than I already do. Anyways, hello everyone, and welcome back to Everlasting Summer, Round 2. I'm Two-Faced Teller, or V if you don't want to deal with the extra syllables. Last time, we just went at it and got the Semyon ending, which was being sad, I guess, and alone. I don't think Semyon cared after the fact. But yeah, this time, for round 2, we're gonna go after Slavya. Ooh. Romance. That is if, I actually do the right options, because I'm gonna try to also do options I didn't do before, like the beginning, where I actually want to go through the gates in the dream, or whatever that was about. So let's get to it. I will be skipping dialogue we've already read, if I can remember how to skip, and not hit the space bar every time. Will he come with me? And every time I have to answer. It's the only way, otherwise the dream will never end, and I will never wake up. The freaky owl in the background. Yeah, sure. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. Where I am, what I'm doing here, who she is. And why does so much in my life depend on this answer? Or maybe it doesn't. It's just a dream after all. In a blink of an eye, Alisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you'll manage from here onwards. Electronic took to his heels. Run after him, do nothing. This should be the second option where we go against the option that I chose last time, which I did nothing that time. I was just like, whatever, I don't care. Get wrecked, Electronic. This time we're gonna go run after him. I decided that I had no wish to come across this aggressive Alisa girl again and darted after Electronic. Running to the square, I lost sight of him. Oh, no. Even now, I still can't say her last name. But Devcheskia wasn't chasing either. However, I really should not risk calling her that. Even in my mind. After catching my breath, I wondered why I had reacted like that. Alright, she's a girl, an aggressive one. But why run away? Failing to find a good answer, I sat down on a bench and stared at the monument to Genda. Looks like I'll have to kill time alone waiting for dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where east should be in my world. A bundle of keys left in the door lock caught my attention. I was going to catch up to Slavya, but where does she live? And knocking on every door during the middle of the night doesn't sound like a bright idea. Did we ever give back her keys? I don't remember, and I also just realized one of my windows is open. I'm gonna go deal with that. I mean, last time we took her keys, and then we had them for like forever. And my sights may be on her right now, but I kind of want to just leave the keys because we didn't really do anything with it. Goodbye, keys. On the other hand, why would I need them? The night, though dark, wasn't silent at all. One could hear chirping crickets, the songs of night birds, and rustling trees from everywhere. A sudden desire to follow Slavya's advice and go to the camp leader's cabin appeared. So what are you reading? On the cover was written, "Gone with the Wind." Wait, what did I say last time? Praise the book or keep silent. I don't actually remember this option. Praise the book, I guess. A good book. Thanks. Honestly speaking, I haven't read it, but I think that such literature suits her very well. Lena didn't seem to be interested in continuing the conversation. Well, if I'm bothering you. No. She answered while still looking at the book. Can I sit beside you for a while? Why? And really, why? Maybe just because I was very tired and having company is better than being alone? Nonetheless, I decided to go have lunch. The checklist isn't going to run away. I'll get it signed later. While my stomach clearly won't wait till dinner. With these thoughts, I entered the canteen. There was almost nobody inside. Apparently most pioneers had lunch already. A lunch lady of impressive proportions provided me with a glorious meal of 3 dishes. A soup, Ypres broth, goulash from Lavrenti, Pavlovich. I just looked up how to pronounce Ypres, and then I come across 2 more words, because I don't know how to read ahead. Garnished with potatoes boiled according to the craziest fashion of the 15th century, and a periodic table compote. Hardly a menu 5-star restaurant would envy, but I was too hungry to care. After all, compared to my usual meal of ramen or macaroni and cheese, macaroni and cheese, I want some right now. This indeed wasn't too bad. I sat at the nearest table and concentrated on chewing. My focus was soon disturbed by a sudden mighty slap on my back. I even choked. Uliana was standing in front of me with a victorious look on her face. I'll choke the life out of you one day. My feelings exact. Catch me if you can. She stuck her tongue out. You tried once and couldn't. Alright, then I'll ambush you somewhere. That's not fair. Look who's talking, Miss Fairplay. I grinned. Okay, you wait. I'll get some food and come back. We'll eat together. I could do without such company. Better hurry up with my lunch. However, Uliana came back after just half a minute. She had a huge roast beef on her plate, and a few large boiled potatoes. Compared to my royal feast. Where'd you get that? Gotta know places. She looked at me and grinned, with all her 32 or however many she had teeth. I won't stand for this. I never was a master of pranks, and in school I often found myself on the bullied side. I'm sorry, Semyon. But I had to get back at her somehow. And what if Olga Dmitrievna finds out that you're stealing food? I'm not stealing, she flared up. That's what you're going to tell her. I wonder if she'll believe you. And how would she know? Well, that depends on many things. Like what? Uliana looked at me in the eyes. Bring me a bun, a sweet one. Where am I supposed to get it? Well, the same place where you got all this. I pointed at her plate. She hesitated. Alright, 1 bun. And promise you won't tell Olga Dmitrievna. You have the word of a pioneer, which I am not. I ran off towards the kitchen. Without hesitating, I opened the pepper box and emptied it into her drink. Just as I finished, the restless girl came back. Here, you racketeer. Looks like she didn't notice. Oh no. Okay, now, who drinks his compote last carries trays. Don't be silly. Silly? Watch me. I won't play these childish games. Look who's talking. I smiled maliciously. Huh? You watch me then. 1, 2, 3. She didn't even let me grab my glass and in one quick motion downed her drink. In just 1 second, her expression changed to that of authentic terror. Her cheeks went red and her eyes were about to pop. She jumped from the table and rushed to the table with the drinking water, spitting and yelling as she went. You! 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 I decided not to wait for her and went outside giggling to myself while finishing my bun. You know, speeding through all this dialogue makes me think of how Semyon possibly felt in the beginning, where he wouldn't pay attention to anyone, and that's basically what we're doing right now. Last time, I believe I didn't bet with Alisa because I was pretty mad about what was going on, so we'll bet with Alisa this time. I may regret it 100 times. Fine, I'll do it. She smiled. But if I win? Yeah. All fair, no cheating. Alisa turned, went up the stairs, and inside the canteen. Why am I doing this? Because she can set me up regardless if she wants to. Since she decided to anyway. I let out a heavy sigh and followed her through the door. The card game that I lost. A few seconds ago I thought I still had a slim chance to evade this tournament, then I wouldn't have to fear Alisa's revenge for losing the bet with her. But now that hope was gone. It was pure coincidence. Yeah, right, coincidence, except that I was already acquainted with every one of the contestants. Oh, there were a few dozen other pioneers standing in the room. I was seized by anxiety. But I have a bet with Alisa. Meanwhile, Electronic proudly announced that the first round is over. A list of those who made it into the second round appeared on the scheme after a little while. Semi-final pairs consisted of Alisa versus Xenia and Uliana versus me. A doom sigh escaped me. What is with this card right here? I've been wanting it to show up colored, but I forgot to mention it when I did have it, but I restarted. This is really not cool. Just like how this one is very not cool. This one makes me uncomfortable. This one just makes me sad. Easy peasy, I said and reclined on my seat. That's not fair. I hope she won't demand another rematch. How come? I chuckled. Okay, said Uliana aggravatedly and got up from the table. I studied the tournament scheme closely, trying to understand who's going to be my final rival. At the same moment, Alisa took place at my table. I pulled a dumb, finged smile. Like I'm afraid of her. Congratulations. Expecting to win? I'm expecting that you'll keep your promise. I already forgot what her voice was gonna be when I first did it. This is what happens when I just sit here in silence, watching texts go by. Okay, let's roll. It's just... I'm pretty sure that's just Olga's voice at that point. Just seeing Semyon's silhouetted smile is so funny. It looks super goofy. Hooray, I won. That'll let Alisa know who rules the roost here. That means that betting with her wasn't a waste. Now the only thing left is to hope that she'll not spread the false gossip because of her loss. Suddenly, I got a desire to celebrate my own victory and have a dip at the beach. To tell the truth, I don't really know how to swim, but the possibility of diving into the cool water under the moonlight seemed attractive. You know, just don't go on the deep end. After all, I spent the whole of yesterday in my winter clothes, and surely you could nicely wring the sweat out of me. In the evening, no one should be here, so I took off all my clothes except my underpants and entered the water. If I only knew, I would have taken my swimming trunks along. Usually it was enough for me to swim for 15-20 meters, but this time the euphoria of my victory spurred me on to break this record. Bro, you can't swim. And I can't save you because I can't swim either. I swam slowly and tactfully, watching every movement of my arms and legs and keeping my breathing steady. All of a sudden, wham! A strike on my back sent me underwater. I started to drown, but managed to force myself to jump out and grab the nearby buoy. Wait, this happened during the night? I didn't realize we were gonna hit this scene. I turned and saw Alisa swimming after me. What the hell are you doing? What the hell am I doing? Hailing the winner. And what if I started drowning? Well, I'd save you. Of course. It was just too dangerous to stay here. She could easily sink me again. I gathered all my strength and swam to shore. I'm not dying in my underwear. I slowly started to catch my breath. Beach sand stuck to my body from head to toe. After some time, Alisa came out of the water. You know, you swim well. I wouldn't say so. Yeah, you too, even though I didn't see you at all. Well, wasn't that obvious? I said nothing. You won twice against me today. That means I'll forgive 2 of your debts. What kind of debts is she talking about? What debt did I incur during the short time that I've been here? Also airplane. It looks like Alisa has a problem with evaluating reality. Thanks a lot, I said sarcastically. You know, you're not as much of a loser as I thought. Alisa was wearing a swimsuit that perfectly emphasized the beauty of her figure. While taking into account all the flaws in her personality, at least this advantage of hers couldn't be taken away. She lost her goggles, traded them in for a piece of grass. Since when did I become a loser? She smiled cunningly. What's wrong? Aren't you one? Of course not. And how will you prove it? I don't have to prove anything. Oh, so is that it? She said without any anger. Yeah, that's it. The silence was expected. A light wind gently played with the waves, sending them to the shore and taking them back after. Alisa was still looking through me as if it seemed she completely forgot about my presence. Hey, Earth to Alisa. Her lost look immediately switched back to her normal one. Anyway, bye-bye. She picked up her clothes lying nearby and left. It was late, but I began to spend a little bit more time lying on my back and stargazing. Ooh, pretty. After all, I didn't have that many opportunities for that before. Or I simply tried to avoid every opportunity. Well, if we think about it, the light from faraway stars reaches us only after millions of years. Right now I can see the star because it was shining back then, long in the past. And now the star's gone, already exploded. Wait a minute. She took my clothes too! I got up and looked around the beach. No doubt about it, Alisa took my pioneer uniform. Damn it! And I was just starting to think that maybe she's not so spoiled. I need to come up with an idea quickly. Certainly I could go and complain to Ogla Demetrina, but not in my wet underpants. I didn't know which cabin Alisa lives in either. And knocking on every door is certainly not a good idea. I mean, you could just say, I got bullied. I didn't choose to come here naked. I mean, it's true. totally got bullied. I mean, it was a choice to go in with only your underpants, but it wasn't a choice to get your clothes stolen, so there's that. And maybe All goes to sleep. Probably not, though. Considering every time he's returned. And knocking on every door is certainly not a good idea. Maybe I should go to Slavya. Yes, of course, at night wearing my underpants. The only thing missing is a rose in my teeth. Overall, it looks like I'm screwed. In any case, I have to do something. I was lucky not so much time had passed since she left, so I could still catch up with Alisa. Hurry up. I'm so cold. In the blink of an eye, I found myself at the square. To my great surprise, Alisa was sitting on a bench, apparently bored. Even though I've said I was going after Slavya, this feels like I'm going after Alisa. It's that card game. I'm too good. No, I'm not. I had to restart multiple times. To my great surprise, Alisa was sitting on a bench, apparently bored. She had already changed. Give them back. Yeah, sure, take them. She muttered with a guilty tone and handed back my uniform. Don't think I was waiting for you on purpose or anything like that. Alisa turned her back and set off towards the cabin at an easy pace. I was left standing riveted to the spot. I didn't expect such a twist. Me neither. The guilt did its job, perhaps. Fat chance. Anyway, it's better to keep away from her, and recent events do not change a thing. I headed to Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga Dmitrievna must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I entered the cabin quietly, stripped and laid on the bed. When you think about it, my situation hadn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I've spent a whole day doing useless stuff. I would have never even thought about doing something like this in the real world. Although I had plenty of time. How much time I would have here in total is still a mystery. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past or how I got to this camp. You know, Olga Dmitrievna asked me to help her tonight. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her. I should think before I say something. Oh, really? And what exactly are you going to be helping her with? It was turning out bad, but I decided to stand my ground. Her cabin. She asked me to clean it up, sort out the things, and so on. Bet you know what a mess the cabin is. Sure, she asked you to tidy up her closet, too. The nurse looked at me so intensely that Napoleon's fiasco at the Battle of Waterloo seemed now a small annoyance compared to my current flop. I was going to say something, but she continued to speak. Okay then, Pioneer. We'll manage it without you. I apologize, but you see... I said and looked at Lena. She stood looking at the ground like before, blushing more and more. It's alright. I'll manage it on my own. Okay then. An awkward silence followed. I'm just gonna go. I wanted to sink into the ground because of my lame lie that probably offended Lena. Well, goodbye then. Bye. The nurse was still smiling spitefully. She hates me! I turned and walked away, almost running. Though in fact I really wanted to run, common sense advised me not to. I came back to my senses when I reached the square. So what's next? I decided to visit my cabin in order to collect my phone. I don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Though having a wristwatch is much easier. I know who this is, and we might have had a moment. But a part of me wants to run away. But at the same time, we were having a moment already, and... it feels like we're going down a route that I didn't mean to. Oh no. I was all for Slavya, and now I'm just like, I got this one thing, I might as well just keep going. Here we go. I guess this is actually... if this actually turns out as Alisa's route, I'm only gonna be a little bit upset. But that's what I get. Because I chose quite a bit of her options. And we did get that one scene, and backing out now feels like a waste. Today's the dance party. You said that you wouldn't go. I didn't say that. Frankly speaking, I didn't want to go, but messing around with her was no good either. I'll get to mention I won't like it. Screw her, said Alisa, getting steamed up. Fine, I'll come. Between shame at the dance party and Devchevskaya, oh god. Between shame at the dance party and Devchevskaya's mad guitar skills, I'd rather pick the latter. Good boy. She smiled strangely. I was just wondering if the decision I made was a right one when suddenly I was interrupted by a ringing calling the pioneers for lunch. I looked towards the canteen. I suppose it's time to go. Hunger is a sharp thorn. Coming to the ball tonight? I don't know. Though I already had my arrangements with Alisa. He'll come. He got nowhere to go, Uliana said happily. He'll come for sure. Of course. I can't miss the opportunity to watch you make a fool of yourself. She got it right, so I decided not to reply. And then what about you? Asked Lena. Yes, she replied briefly. See, you should go too then, said Slavya as if leaving me no choice. Don't forget to wear your tailcoat. Apparently Uliana was so pleased with her joke that she laughed out loud. Strangely enough, I got up right on time even without an alarm. The clock was showing 9. Such a rare thing to happen. I felt sluggish, though. Probably it wasn't the best idea to sleep during the day after all. I'm going to see Alisa instead of the dance. So it's time then. A few minutes later I approached the stage. Maybe it was a bad idea accepting her offer. Just talking to keep tripping. Just talking to Devchevskaya means danger. On the other hand, I wasn't eager to go to the dance. What can I do there? I'd only disgrace myself. No, I'm better off listening to Alisa play the guitar. Coming closer, I saw a person sitting on the edge of the stage with their legs dangling. So, you came after all. Alisa put the guitar aside and jumped to the ground. There was even a trace of joy on her face for a moment. Playing for someone is surely more interesting than being alone. As you can see. What are we going to do? What do you mean, what? I'm asking you. Well, you wanted... I got a sudden idea that the situation is one of her usual pranks, and I should never have expected to hear any guitar songs. I'm gonna go to bed, bye. I turned around and waved a hand intentionally slowly. Hey! Alisa grabbed my sleeve. What? Don't you want to listen? Listen to what? You, yourself, don't know what you're going to do. Of course I know. She took the guitar and hit the strings with a plectrum a couple of times. Sit next to me. I didn't object, and in a moment I was sitting beside her. It's better this way. Miss the dance, leave now, and then what would I do? Sleep? The role of a stranger was more suitable for a passive observer, not for the eager seekers of answers who I wanted to be so badly. So I'll show you how to play this song now. Just like that, right away? What do you mean, right away? I haven't held the guitar for a long time. She could probably guess how long it's been since I'd held one. My skills were enough to make a cat laugh. It's not difficult. I threw an intense look at Alisa. It distinctly seems to me now that she just can't express her feelings. She could lose her she could lose her self-control for a moment and I'd get to see a casual and even funny and friendly girl. And then when her self-confidence and impudence turned back on, it was bitchiness as usual. And which is the real one? Hey. What? Stop daydreaming. Oh, yeah, sorry. So, are you watching? I am. What song is this? The one I played this morning, of course. No. Okay, I'm listening. Alisa made up her mind and started to play. That's it. Did you get everything? I may have understood it, but I probably won't be able to replicate it. How shall I put it? It's okay. Practice makes perfect. She's undoubtedly right on this point, but I've had problems with practice all my life. Well... I took the guitar from Alisa and tried to play the first chord. It was hard, as if my fingers were tied in a knot and didn't want to be in the right place. I used to be better before, but now I wouldn't even be able to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well... Wait a moment. Looks like you won't be a rock hero. She laughed kindly. It may be better this way. I hissed vainly, trying to remember the order of strings to press. Well... The guitar started to make devilish sounds resembling the groans of a wounded dinosaur. My left-hand fingers constantly missed the right frets, and my right hand didn't strike in rhythm. Let's call that progressive rock. Progressive? Well, well, give it back. She took the guitar, and it sounded completely different in her hands. I felt embarrassed by my clumsiness for a moment. Alisa's skill may not be on the level of a professional guitarist, but nevertheless she played simple songs like this with confidence. She must have had a lot of practice. Did you get it this time? She finished and offered the guitar to me. Well... I did better the second time, but it was still a long way from Alisa's level. Or from any decently adequate level. I was aware of how totally worthless I was compared to her. It seemed so simple, just play a song with 3 chords. The tune is too simple, though. I put the guitar aside. Alisa was lost in thought for a moment. Even a preschool kid could play it better. Thanks. I tried. So I noticed. She might be trying to demonstrate her evident superiority at playing the guitar. It's not like everyone can be a musician. Not really. Alisa looked up at the sky. Though you can't be one, that's for sure. Why is that? You should have heard yourself. I started to regret coming here. Well, don't mind me. Why does Alisa need to do this? It's obvious that I'm a horrible guitarist. Obviously. But if I had some practice... So, will you practice? I don't know, maybe I will. The guitar was the least of my problems, though. I'm stuck in a strange world I can't escape from. That's more important than a stupid argument with Alisa. I suddenly felt an annoying self-pity, apathy, and an urge to leave this place, to forget this evening. Those feelings left a nasty impression and a burning desire to do or say something stupid. As if it would change anything. What? Me learning to play the guitar. You surely couldn't. You strum the guitar for a couple of days and give up. Alisa's words pierced my heart. You know what? Oh well. Oh well, should she know? Is it any concern of hers? Am I reacting this way just because it's true and that it's Alisa who spoke the truth? You can't know how to do everything. Probably not. But you should be able to at least do something. So are you saying that I can't do anything? How should I know? You know, I what? Should I tell her about my computer skills? Or about the books I've read and movies I've watched? Oh well, this is a pointless conversation. That goes without saying. You're only concerned with having fun. And you do nothing but whine. Forget it. It's true. He does nothing but whine. I jumped down from the stage and walked away from the concert area. Go then. I heard Alisa yelling to me. I'm already going, I hissed. The path led me back to the square. There was Slavya in the center of it, sweeping the area. Oh, Semyon. Hi. I thought everyone was already asleep. No. What are you doing? Cleaning up after the ball. Why didn't you come? Just... And where have you been? I hadn't the slightest intention of telling Slavya how I embarrassed myself on stage with a guitar in front of Alisa, while the whole camp was having fun at the square. I took a walk. Okay. But you should have come. It was fun. Glad you enjoyed yourself. I'd been sweating like a pig today because of worries or just a hot night. Hey, do you know where I can have a bath? Certainly. Go straight, then a bit to the left by the path, then to the right, and there will be a bathhouse. Should I accompany you? No need, I'll find it myself. Totally didn't want to burden her more. I walked along the forest path in the direction Slavya showed. My whole body was itching. How didn't I notice it before? And more importantly, what else hadn't I noticed? If things keep going like this, then I'll have to stay in this world forever. I shivered at the thought. Probably at the idea that I didn't feel any terror or even just fear. Just like it's all the natural flow of things. I could see a bathhouse behind the trees. And why do the pioneers have baths here? Olga Dmitrievna had said something about repair to the showers, though. Oh, finally! Finally. After wondering why no one has been using some showers and constantly going to the sink, which is not the greatest place to be washing off anywhere. We got the reason why they haven't been using the showers. But then I also find out they have a bathhouse, which is just a big, excuse me? Jeez. First round just kind of made it seem like Semyon never really took a shower / bath. Olga Dmitrievna had said something about repairs to the showers, though. No reason to worry about it now. I'm actually going to stop here. I'm not sure how long this episode is going to be, considering how much speeding through is going to be. I don't even know if it's going to hit an actual hour when I edit this. Ooh. I'd prefer it to be an hour, or at least close to one, but I don't know if it's going to be. We sped through a lot. I think we're on, day 3 right now? And even though I said I was going to do Slavya, we ended up doing Alisa. And I'm pretty sure that's because I actually chose options where... Actually, no. I don't know about the first option you have with her. I'm not even really sure what is the best option for that part, or if it matters. I don't know. The card game did in fact matter. And I don't want to waste the fact that we've seen so many of her CGs now. So I guess this is gonna be a oops, it's Alisa instead of being Slavya, which is fine. I was gonna do Alisa's one at some point. I just thought I was gonna have Slavya's one done first. But it's okay. It doesn't really matter which one I do first. This is probably gonna go pretty fast, considering this is already day 3, unless we end up branching more into things that I haven't seen. I don't... This is now... It occurs to me this is probably going to be a little hard, at least for me. It might not seem to any of you watching that finding which options or which areas to go to for the girls, it's going to be difficult for me because I do not have the memory of someone who should have a good memory. Saying words from the top of my head does not go well. It is very disjointed, and sometimes I forget what I just said. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a good day and have a good night. Oh, wait, hold on. I looked this up, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. Wait, I got this. I'm gonna say it. I didn't look up these words for nothing. I looked up several ways that I could say this, and I'm still completely unsure if it is the right sayings. But, this is just, when I say bye-bye. Instead, I'll say uvidimsia. That should say see ya, and somebody's gonna correct me. Probably. I'm embarrassed. I'm just gonna say that. Uvidimsia. I don't have the accent for this. Uvidimsia. It's a lot easier just to say the Probozolovits, because I can put an accent in there. But uvidimsia comes out so normal. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna cut all of that out, but I'll see ya. Bye. I'm gonna go sit in a corner thinking about how much I embarrassed myself.